I have with me a special guest, Vinisha Umashankar, a class 9 student who has been awarded the Children's Climate Prize by the Children's Climate Foundation in Sweden. She has designed a mobile ironing cart that uses solar energy, which means these ironing will not require charcoal, a burning of charcoal, completely environment friendly. This will also not pollute the air around us. Thank you very much for your time. Congratulations. How does it feel?
It feels amazing to win the Children's Climate Prize. I am really happy that environmental innovations such as the solar ironing cart are gaining international recognition, because as of 2020, climate change is definitely real, and I feel that environmental innovations deserve more attention, and I'm happy that the ironing cart got the attention it deserves.
How does it work? You have the solar panel on top of the cart and they wouldn't require charcoal at all.
No. The main aim of the ironing cart itself is to eliminate the usage of charcoal and thus prevent deforestation. So if you purchase the solar ironing cart, then you won't need to buy charcoal at all, because according to the ironing vendors themselves, it costs around 700 to 1000 rupees a day to buy charcoal. So even though initially the cart, which costs 30,000 to 40,000 Indian rupees, may seem like a lot of money, it's a worthy investment because you won't need to buy charcoal for around 7 to 8 years.
For how long will they be able to use the iron box?
The iron box can be used continuously on battery power for 6 hours, but when it's directly connected to the solar panels, they can use it for however long they want to.
What would this mean for our environment?
It means a lot to the environment. There's a common misconception that if someone innovates something or there's an environmental change act going on in a specific part of the world, it only helps people in their locality. But actually, it benefits the whole globe as a whole, because air and atmosphere are the same across the earth. So if the air quality improves in one part of the world, then it simultaneously affects the rest of the world as well. So I'd consider the solar ironing cart a very important innovation.
How big is this problem in India, and how much would this change if our community of people who iron using charcoal switch to this system?
Well, the first thing is there may be around 10 million ironing carts in India alone, and each of them burn around 5 kg of charcoal. So totally, in a day, they burn around 50 million kg of charcoal every day in India alone. But the fact is that charcoal-based irons aren't only used in India, but in many developing countries across the world. So if all ironing vendors switch to solar ironing carts, it would drastically improve the air quality in India, thus helping climate change, preventing climate change across the world.
So what are you working on? Now you are making this into a sustainable business model?
Yes, I'm working on making it as a sustainable business model, because I want it to be reached to many people out there who actually iron clothes, because I feel that it would benefit them and the society as well.
Very interesting. Tell me about the whole process. How did you enjoy the process of designing and also making this into a viable business model?
Well, the whole process of designing the ironing cart took me around 7 to 8 months. Well, because I had to come up with the idea, and then I needed to write a technical paper about the ironing cart, and I had to finalize how the ironing cart looks. All of this took me 7 to 8 months, but I definitely say I learned a lot when I did this, because I had to go through many advanced electrical components like the solar panel, and I had to know how every single part of the ironing cart works, because only then I'd be able to explain it to someone who wants to know about the ironing cart. So I learned a lot and I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm glad that the solar ironing cart won a national and international award.
How much will this cost for these people to buy?
It may cost around 30,000 to 40,000. Initially, it seems like a lot of money, but considering they buy around 700 to 1000 rupees worth of charcoal every day, this is a worthy investment. When you invest on the ironing cart for once, then it will support the ironing vendor for 7 to 8 years.
Do you want the government to support in terms of funding to help these people buy this?
Obviously, because the government provides subsidies, and that would make it easier for the ironing vendors to actually buy the ironing cart without much hassle because of its cost.
Tell me truthfully, did your parents encourage you? Did they stop you? Don't do this, don't do that?
No, actually, my parents are very encouraging to me because I actually showed my interest in science at a really young age, and they've been supportive ever since. So they were actually happy when I came up with this idea. We didn't have any expectations while submitting it to the competition, but I'm still thankful that I won.
That competition is the India Innovation competition.
Yes, it's conducted by the National Innovation Foundation, and the award is the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Ignite Award, and I won it in 2019 for the same innovation, the solar ironing cart, and they actually recommended me to participate in the international competition, and I won that as well.
Sangeeta, proud mother, also a teacher. How does it feel to see your young daughter achieve this and inspire others?
I'm really glad that she did it at this young age, and I really excited to understand it received national and international recognition and acknowledged by wide variety of audience, from people who know about the technology and people who are aged, who were expecting young